Good night, vatos. Thanks for tuning in to yet another video. Infamous here, San Jose, California. Let me know in the comments, you guys prefer motovlogging videos or camera head vlog videos, kind of like what I've been doing in front of my workstation at home? I don't know. I mean, as you can see, now that I'm getting off of work, the sun is a little bit still, you know, outside. It's still right before sunset, so the lighting's a little bit better. It's been improving slowly but surely the last couple days. You know, California, January, February. We're now in February, so the lighting's a little bit better. I didn't like motovlogging, you know, back in December, November, mainly because just the light, it was just too dark and you guys couldn't see anything, so there was no point of doing the motovlog. But
get on with it.
Let's get on with the topic of today's ride. The 2021 or 2020, because Harley-Davidson is actually behind because of the pandemic and whatnot. So, because yeah, I'm still thinking, I'm still thinking Indian. They have 2021s already on their sales floor. I went to my local dealership. That's for another video.
Nice.
And we're talking about the 2020 on today's topic of today's ride, the 2020 FXBB, the Street Bob 117. Sorry, 114. The 114. Now, I test rode that bike last year when I was shopping for a Softail M8, which is what you see here. I got the 2020 Lowrider S, and I already uploaded a video why I chose it, and I also uploaded a video on why you should consider the LRS over the Street Bob if you were shopping 114s and you were, you know, on the fence and wondering. But anyways, I already made that video. Yes, so let's just talk about the 2020 Street Bob. Now, from what I test rode last year, it's the same bike from 2019. It's the same bike. The only difference is it's got a 114. So the difference between the 2019 and the 2020 is the 114. They're practically the same bikes. You know, any notable features would be the 114. Other than that, you're looking at color, new tank badging, a new decal, a new emblem on the side of the tank, and some new colors, and that's pretty much it. It's still the same bike. They also give you a passenger seat, but I'm going to be talking about that. I'm going to be, you know, giving my 2 cents about that passenger seat. So you get the you get an extra, give or take. You know, Harley doesn't really announce the horsepower numbers. You get about maybe 8 horsepower additional compared to the 107. You get an additional 8 horsepower, and looking at it, you know, horsepower wise, it actually is a pretty good deal. I mean, last year it was 14,300 or 14,300, 400, whatever. It's only an extra $600. And if you consider a stage 1, which is it's honestly, it's about the same. A stage 1 will give you about anywhere from, you know, depending on what you do, slip-ons or full exhaust, kind of like what I have on my bike. You get about 9 to 11 horsepower depending on the tuner and depending on what you put on the bike. You know, an extra $600. You know, yes, it bumps it up to $15,000, but you're getting a little bit more power. But you're not getting the stopping power, and you're not getting ABS. You're not getting any of that stuff. I already mentioned this in another video, but I think this is where I wanted to go with this video. I wanted to just kind of, you know, I'm just wondering what the executives at Harley-Davidson were kind of thinking, especially with the passenger seat on that bike. It just doesn't make any sense. You know, I test rode the bike. Let me just finish my thought on the test ride. It feels amazing. It's a good looking bike. I like it. The ape hangers, I really like the mini ape hangers on that bike. If you're, you know, my height, you know, under 6 feet, that bike's gonna fit you well. You know, the new frame, you know, everything, the feeling, the control. You know, I'm a lighter guy. I weigh around 170, 175. So I'm not gonna have any complaints about the about the suspension or anything like that. The travel is not as good as the Heritage, but overall it's a solid bike. It feels great, and you know, for $14,300 at the time of last year, you know, I'd consider that bike over the Standard, and that's mainly because I'm not a chrome guy. I'm not into chrome. I like the blacked out look, and that's why I went ahead with this bike over that one. And overall, you know, it's like I said, it's a good looking bike. It feels good. You know, 5'7", you know, once you get over 6 feet on that bike, a lot of people complain about it being a little too cramped. You do have the forward controls, the mid forward controls are a little bit slightly forward than Dynas and Sportsters, but you know, the bike feels great. So now let's talk about, you know, where I left off. I'm not sure what Harley was kind of thinking. A lot of their 114s, except for the Fat Boy, I believe, a lot of their 114s have dual disc brakes, and that's what I mentioned on the reveal video, on the live announcement. After, you know, doing some research, and I know Harley-Davidson, they have the fork tubes for that extra, for that additional caliper. They have them. They had for that style, you know, that's not non-inverted forks, you know, just regular forks. They had it on the Lowrider, and they also had it on the Fat Bob. They had dual disc brakes on those bikes. So why can't Harley-Davidson, I'm gonna go on a rant, so why can't Harley-Davidson just put that fork tube on the right side? I don't get it. And it's not like they have to invest research and development, R&D, on develop a new fork tube or anything like that. They don't have to spend, you know, go out of the way, manufacture a right side fork tube for the dual disc brakes. It's not rocket science. They can do it. I'm 1,000% sure they have the parts for it. And you know, I mentioned in one of my videos about, you know, the cost and everything else. I'm pretty sure Harley-Davidson will not be, you know, it's not going to cost Harley-Davidson to put on another disc on that bike. You know, it's just the way I see it, and this is where the passenger seat comes in. The way I see it, if they're really focused on the cost of the bike, why not take off the Daymaker? Because, you know, that's what they started doing on the 2018s. They started including the Daymakers. Now, if you buy that Daymaker LED headlight, if you buy that Daymaker, you know, from their marketplace, from their dealership, or from their, you know, online store, that's like $400 for that headlight. You know, so, you know, take off the headlight. So now we're down, you know, $400, and take off that passenger seat. I don't get, why would you put a passenger seat on a bike with a 3-gallon tank? It doesn't make any sense. Even if you're gonna get your old lady to ride with you, I'm pretty sure after 20-30 minutes she's gonna be complaining about that seat. So you're gonna have to, you know, get rid of it anyways. If you take off that passenger seat and you take off the Daymaker, that's, you know, let's just guess, that's about $700, $800 off the cost of the bike. So, you know, with $700, I don't know the whole manufacturing or the parts or anything like that. I worked at a manufacturer dealership, and I do know that a lot of the parts at cost to the dealerships or to the stores, it was typically, you know, 40 to 60% of what it was going for at the storefront. So even if they were billing themselves, I'm pretty sure to put on a dual disc on that Street Bob, it wasn't going to cost them $700. Not from Harley-Davidson. So I don't know. It's just one of those things that it just kind of bugs me. In my opinion, you know, it's just, if I had a voice and I was somewhere, you know, at a Harley-Davidson, would have probably pushed for dual disc brakes on the Street Bob. You know, give it a real proper 114 package, in my opinion. That's just me. and remove that stupid passenger seat, just to cut down on cost if that's, if that was the issue, and just remove the headlight and put on a bulb light. A lot of people put on moons, headlights on there, or the trend right now, some people are putting some kind of a Baja headlight. There's different options. And then if you really wanted to, you could go on Amazon and put on one of those as well, LEDs. So I mean, that's just me. And then just you use one of the fork tubes on a lowrider, depending on the fork itself, or use another fork tube, which I'm pretty sure they already have the means to produce and manufacture. I mean, it's Harley-Davidson. They're a manufacturer of parts, or whatever, or probably contract another outside country to produce the parts. Because I mean, these bikes aren't made 100% in the United States. I believe a lot of the wiring on these bikes are made in Mexico, and some other components are made somewhere else. So it's just something that I kind of wanted to get your guys' own opinion. It's just me, I guess. Just one of those things that I just believe that they could have probably made it a little bit better by just changing those few things. And then there's just one more thing with the 2020 lineup. I don't like that they actually discontinued the lowrider. So you know what? I'm not going to get into that. That's going to be for a separate video. That might be a talking head video, or it might be a motovlogging video. I'm not too sure right now. Alright, you guys just stay out there, stay safe. I'm gonna end it there. You guys leave your comments out below. Let me know if you guys think dual disc brakes on the Street Bob. I think it would have looked pretty badass. I like the way they look, and the extra stopping power. It's welcomed, mainly because, like I said, I test rode those bikes. And I was, I'm not going to get into it anymore. This video is already too long. You guys just stay out there, stay safe. Don't believe everything you read. Life's a risk. Get out there and ride. Later.